There it goes. Hi, everybody. It's Elena Gale, and I told you, I promised you that I was going to talk about bullyism and physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. Well, here it is. I'm here. I'm sorry that it took so long, but they refused to put my video on because it was too long. So I'm going to watch the numbers down here, and I'm going to be incognito today because to protect the names and I'm going to be oh, I think I fell asleep. I'm sorry. I'm going to change the names to protect the innocent. Okay. They were born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1947. In 1951, the emotional abuse began by other children, and fear kept them quiet. And I guess some people, teachers and such, kept quiet also. They hoped they could be invisible. They wished that if they were on a bus or they were on the street, anywhere, that they would be invisible so they wouldn't be seen and pointed at and called a queer. That's, or Mary, or sissy, or faggot, or any other thing that the derogatory term they use. That's the children in your neighborhood against another child. And that's an 8-year-old child we're talking about. And they couldn't take it anymore. So, anyway, they went through 9 years of abuse until they got up until the 9th grade in high school, and had to repeat that because they couldn't concentrate. The only thing that they could concentrate on was keeping alive. And someone that sat behind them came up front and kicked them in the shin so hard that the pain was excruciating. This is a 15-year-old boy by now. And they were called queer and whatnot. Also, that same one that kicked in the shin cut their arm with a knife when they were trying to protect themselves from him. The same one. So, can't use the names, but anyway, they tried to make that person do things, the sexual in nature, behind blackboard. You know, the freestanding blackboards? 2 or 3 people in the classroom. Now, who's the queer here? So anyway, they never did it. They never had the sex. They took the beatings. They thought about it, but they didn't, because it was driven into them. But they never did. They just took the beatings. So long story short, because we don't have a lot of time, I'm going to make 2 or 3 videos of this because I have a lot to say. So they were kicked so bad, the pain was so bad that they took their pen, not thinking, not knowing what they were doing. They took their pen, and it was a pen I used to call it a quill pen at that age, and you put it in the inkwell on your desk, Well, they took it and they shoved it into his back. I don't think it went very far. But anyway, it was a fit of rage. She didn't even know what she was doing. Like a transgender child, feminine boy. And trashed the classroom and left. And then gave back all their books. That was a terrible, terrible, horrible thing to do to a child. And these are your family members, your grandfathers now, fathers, more grandfathers probably, that were the classroom bullies. And there was more than one when it came to the poor little boy that was being abused, because he was being abused by a group of people in the classroom, not just one. In fact, a transgender in the classroom that was having relations with all the boys in the classroom slapped the little boy's face because they tried to get him to say something, and they turned around and slapped the transgender, slapped the transgendered boy, the feminine boy, in the face. So, like I said, the whole class followed suit, and that's what needs to be stopped. Somebody has to stick up for these poor little kids, girl or boy, that's being brutalized every single day. They end up out of school with no education, not able to learn because they're constantly beaten and harassed, locked in lockers, pushed downstairs, dragged into old houses, old empty dwellings, and surrounded by young men. It's terrible. It's terrible. I got more on that too later in my next video. So they returned all their books, and they could never put themselves in a classroom setting again, and were not. That was the end of their education. And on my next video, I'll be talking about how they were abused, and why they didn't say anything about it to anyone. Give you a hint. Worse than a queer was a snitch. So that's the word of the day. Snitch. Okay? And I'll make that next video for you and put it right up as soon as I can. Bye. Okay. Stop.